Today we are making a coral reef with air dry clay. So as you can see, I have two pieces of clay here. I have a bigger clump and then a smaller clump. We're going to save this piece for a little bit later. And so you can just go ahead and pick up your clay first, and we want to get it pretty flat at the bottom. So I'm just going to flatten it out at the bottom so that it sits nice for me. So I'm just rubbing my fingers across the bottom to get it more flat. It doesn't have to be perfect, we just want it to sit flat like that. Okay, it's not going to be perfectly round, it's going to be misshapen, so you can just go ahead and take your fingers and start pushing on it a little bit to spread it out, but we want it bumpy. I don't want it to be a perfectly round, smooth shape. Just going to make it a little flatter because we're going to be adding our coral to it. But it still has, I'm going to show you the thickness, it still has a dome shape to it, okay? See, it still has a dome shape. Just going to go around and push it in some spaces because I want it bumpy. Okay. All right, I'm going to take my finger and just going to put a little bit of water on it for any cracks I see. Just rubbing them out there. I'm going to do that on the sides too. Just a little bit of water. Okay, there we go. Just wiping off most of the water with my finger because, like I said, I don't want it to be too wet. Okay, we are going to get messy, and that's fun. It's okay. All right, so we're going to take our tool here. It's just a wood stick. One side has a little bit of a flat end to it, and the other side is pointy. Okay, and so I'm going to make some indentations on here with the flat end. I'm going to keep doing this over and over and over and over. They don't all have to be the same, so sometimes I'm not pushing as hard. So some of them look big, some of them look small. Also going to do this on the sides once we're finished with the top here. Work my way around. So we do it on the top and the sides. Okay, you might have a little chunk of clay there. You can just pinch that off Add it to your other pile. Now I'm going to also use the pointier end of my tool. I'm going to make some smaller dots just scattered in here. Also on the sides with your smaller dots. Doing it lightly. I'm not really stabbing it hard or anything because I don't want to smush it. Just a little poke. Okay. I think I have it all. I'm going to make it just a couple. I'm using the pointy end and I'm making a couple of those just a little deeper. Okay. You can wipe off your tool again. And then I'm going to set this aside here so we can work with this piece of clay. All right, so we're just going to pinch off a little bit. See how I have just a little bit here? Leave the rest of that over there. Using my fingers, and I'm going to roll it out because I want it to be long. So once you pinch it a little bit to make it longer, then you can just go ahead and put it on your surface. Use 2 fingers and then go ahead lightly, start applying a little bit of pressure and roll it out. I don't want it too thin. I'll show you the thickness. Just a moment. About that thick. Okay. Then I'm going to take my tool and I'm going to start at the top here and I'm just going to wrap it around it. But when I wrap it around like this, I want it to touch. Okay. So as I go around, it keeps touching. See? There's no space in between there. It's touching. I'm going to go around again like this. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to try and I shimmied it off. So I just moved it around a little bit till it came off like that. And we're going to add this to our coral reef. But we can make a couple of more first. So we'll leave this here. And then I'm going to pinch off another piece. Okay, and again, same thing. I'm just going to, I want to compact it so it's all connected really good. So I'm just pinching. And then once I feel like it's all in a line like this, I'm going to put it down and then roll my fingers. Make it longer. Okay. So now I got my piece here, got my tool, and I'm gonna wrap it around the tool again. So I start here. I'm going to go around, make sure it's touching, push it back around again, And just keep going until it's all wrapped around like that. I'm even going to give it a little pat, a little squeeze just to make sure it's all touching. All right, and then hold on to it with 2 fingers here and then shimmy it till the stick comes off. And then I have one more. Awesome. And let's do another one. Again, I'm going to pinch it off there. So now you're a pro at this. Squeeze that together. And then once it's all compact into a longer piece, you can start rolling with 2 fingers. See how I start at the middle and then I kind of work my way out, out, so that it's pretty much the same thickness all the way across. This one's probably going to be my tallest one. Okay, so again, I'm going to start here with my tool. And I'm going to go around it. And around. You'll see yours, everyone's is going to look a little different when we're done. And that's a good thing. We all have our own style. Okay, so I have it. See, it's all wrapped around. I'm going to hold on to it with 2 fingers and shimmy this off. So those are my 3 pieces there. Coral. And let's go ahead and attach these first before we make anything else. So I'm going to take my finger and just kind of push down in here a little bit. You can use your fingertip. I have nails, so it's hard to. So I'm just going to use my knuckle. And I'm just pushing down in here like that. So it makes it a little deeper. And then I'm going to take my tool and I'm just going to make some little lines in there just to rough up the clay. I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom here. I'm going to make some little lines at the bottom like that. Rough it up. Take a little bit of water on the bottom here. A little bit of water in there. Okay. Then we're going to put it in there. And we're going to push it down. I'm going to take my tool, the flat end of my tool, and I'm just going to push, 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 push. Push it down. Okay. Make sure it's really pushed in there. So that's the first piece of coral. The next one I'm going to put a little bit further behind it. So I'm going to push again with my finger in that spot there. And then we're going to rough it up in there. Put a little water in it. Rough up the bottom of this side. Get a little water on it. And put that one in there. Make sure it's in there really good. Pushing it together. Okay. And I think I want the next one right here. So I'm going to just push my finger in there. And we're going to use our tool, rough it up in there, add some water. Same thing on this end. Add some water. Put that one right in there. push it together. Okay. There we go. Looking good, everyone. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, we're going to pinch off another piece, and this time we want it to be more like a flat rectangle. So go ahead and use your fingers and try and shape it like a flat rectangle. Okay, you see my flat rectangle? Not that thick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll it like this. There's going to be a hole in the middle, and we're going to roll it. Just like that. This is taller than I want, so I'm going to take my my tool and I'm just going to push it right down the middle. So now I have two of them. I have 1, 2. Okay. 1 and 2. All right. And these I'm going to put right over here near the other ones. So I just stuck my finger in there 2 more times. Rough it up again. Put a little water in there. Rough up the bottom of this one. Put a little water on it. That one's going to go in here. And this one will go on the other side. A little water. Okay, I'm going to take the flat end here and I'm just going to push down. Just pushing down in there. Awesome. Okay. Okay, now we're going to make a few little round balls. These don't have to be big. So I'm going to take about this much clay. And for a round ball, you just put it in the palm of your hands and go around till it's nice and round like that. I'll do another one right in the palm of your hands like this. See that? Let's do one more. Okay. Awesome. Okay, and those I'm going to put here. Use your little tool to make it rough in there. And at the bottom of your round ball, a little water. We're going to push that down in there. Now I'm going to use that flatter end of my tool to push the edges so that it touches good on there. Okay. There's one. Put another one right there. Rough up this end. And this one. You're a pro at this now. Water on both ends. And push, 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 push. Take my tool, the flatter end, and I'm just gonna push it down into the clay. Good. Okay, in our last round ball, we're gonna do those same steps right there. Water. And push it in there. Take my tool. Okay, it's coming along, it's coming along. Now I'm going to make some little ones, like really, really little ones. So just roll some little ballies like that. They're different sizes. Okay. We'll leave those there for a minute. So take the sharp end of your tool, and in these 3 balls here, we're going to make some holes like that. So I'm kind of going all the way down in this one. Okay, see that? So I'm using the pointy end, and then I'm pushing all the way down. Like that. Do another one on this circle. Okay. Now it's time to add our little ones, and we're going to add them right around here. Okay, so you can go ahead and push a deeper hole and then push that down in there. Okay, I'm going to just make sure that they're all pushed down around the edges with my flat end of my tool. Because we don't want them to fall off when they dry. Okay, and on these, I'm just going to make a few little lines like that. Okay. So I'm just kind of turning it on its side to make some lines. Okay. Move this way so you can see it better. I feel like we need something in there, so I'm going to take another piece like this and roll it with my fingers. I'm not going to wrap this one, it's just going to stay like this. So once I rolled it, I'm just kind of pushing it back together a little bit so it's a little shorter. Like that. And I feel like that's too thick, so I am going to cut it in half. Just take your stick and push it right down the middle. That'll make it smaller. Okay. Take my tool, make a little hole right here. Mess up this end a little bit. Put some water on both sides. Put it right there. And I'm going to take my tool and just push it down a little more. There. I'm going to let it lean against this other one for a little bit of support. Awesome. And then this other one is going to go right in that space behind it. Okay. So again, tool, making a little hole right here next to it. Put a little water in there. A little water on this side. I'm going to push it down. And then I'm going to use my tool to really get it into that clay. Okay. So now that we have all of our shapes in there, you can set that aside. We don't need this. I'm going to add some more little marks, since we were pushing on it, back into the clay that's exposed. So I'm just using the flat end and pushing a little bit like that. Also on the back. And then maybe a few little dots too. Okay. I can't wait to see yours. I'm sure it looks awesome. Okay, so we're going to leave most of it the color of sand, and we are going to actually add some color to the coral. So let's get ready to do that. Okay, so these two over here are going to be yellow. So we'll start with yellow first. You're going to dip your brush in the liquid watercolor yellow, and we're just going to rub that onto here. Make sure you get all the sides of it. And same thing on this one. Okay. So here's my yellow one. I did put a little bit down there too. There. You can wipe your brush off gently. And then we are going to dip it in the red. And these friends over here, those 3 balls we made, those are going to be red. Using a teeny tiny brush today because this is a small project. We don't need a big brush today. Oops, dipped it in the wrong color. There we go. Red. So there's our red ones. And you can wipe your brush off again, and I just pretend I'm painting off to the side so that I don't paint too rough to wipe it off. You got to be gentle. And now we're doing blue. Blue for the tall ones here. Probably gonna need to twist it around so you can get the back side. Be gentle because the clay has not hardened yet. It's gonna take about 3 days to dry out. 3 to 5 days. And I'm gonna do this one too. Twist it around. Get the back. All right. Now I'm going to put some blue into my yellow, just a little bit of blue in the yellow to get like a greenish color. And I'm going to use that greenish color for the middle ones. Get down in there, all the sides of the green. Oh, that's pretty. I'm gonna wipe my brush, and I'm gonna make these little guys blue too. If you want a little difference in color for those, you can put a little red on top. It'll make them purple. See? So I painted it blue, put a little red on top, and it gave it a little bit of a different shade, a little bit purplish. Okay, so I'm gonna just twist it around to show you all sides of it. And there it is, our coral reef under the sea. I hope you had fun with me today, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.